What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today I am doing my DC Universe podcast, episode 8. Can't believe we're on 8 episodes of this thing. So let's get started. So today we don't have a lot of topics. We have like 2. We have James Gunn did a bunch of interviews with the YouTubers I watch, right? He did one with Charlie Emergency Awesome. He did one with Boba Talks. He did one with New Rockstars and Screen Crush. Who else did he do one? He did one with a person that works with Brandon Davis, the YouTuber, not the singer. He basically did a whole bunch of interviews, and he didn't really give a lot of information away, but he gave a few things, so we're gonna start off with that. And then we're gonna dive into some Batman Brave and Bold updates, which I'm very excited for. So yeah, so let's start. So first of all, these guys had like 10 minutes with James Gunn, so it wasn't a very long interview, but you can get. And what I like about these guys is, one, James Gunn sees the fans of the content and he goes to them. So like one day I hopefully will get an opportunity to interview James Gunn. I hope I will. Right. I'm not big enough yet, but he goes to the fans of the content and then it lets them ask them questions. But as a good interviewer, I'm glad we didn't ask, even though we all want Batman in the DCU, or we want updates on Booster Gold, or we want updates on Wonder Woman and stuff. They didn't ask about those questions. They asked about projects we have coming up. So people were asking him because of the end of Peacemaker, and James Gunn is adapting Salvation Run in his new universe, or his universe. I have to stop calling it new because it's not really new anymore. Right? And he said mainly the political thriller element of Salvation Run, like villains teaming up and villains being stranded in another universe, is what I'm adapting. I'm not adapting the Darkseid part. And then he confirmed in another interview, he said Darkseid will not be the main villain of not be the overarching villain of the DC Universe, for 2 reasons, and I found these reasons very interesting. Zack Snyder and James Gunn are really good friends. James Gunn wrote, what's it called? Shaun of the Dead for Zack Snyder, so, and he said, one, Zack did a really good job with Darkseid, and I agree with that. If you watch the Snyder Cut, he did do a really good job with Darkseid, right? And 2, Darkseid, in James Gunn's opinion, and in any comic book fan's opinion, Darkseid and Thanos have a lot of similarities. Now, they're not carbon copies of each other, but they do have a lot of similarities in the sense of they're both opponents from another planet. They both want to take over the universe for their own thing. And he just said, Darkseid, he said Darkseid's a great character, and we will see new gods in the DCU with the Mr. Miracle show that Tom King is show running, and I'm very excited for that show, right? But Darkseid will not be the overarching villain of the DC universe. One other thing that he said he has seen the Lanterns, first trailer. He didn't give a date on when it's gonna release the first trailer, but my guess is they're gonna have Lanterns in March or April. That's my guess, because Supergirl comes out at the end of June. So they gotta finish that before Supergirl comes out. So yeah. And James Gunn said, somebody asked him, Boba Talks asked him, will Lanterns affect the DCU going forward? And he said yes. and stuff like that. So yeah, those are all the topics from the James Gunn interview. Overall, guys, they were great interviews from the interviews part because they actually asked him questions that he could answer. And that's what I mean, guys. Like, even though we want to know about Batman and we want to know about, like, Nightwing and we want to know about Teen Titans and we want to know about Swamp Thing, he's not going to answer those questions. So shout out to the interviewers for, like, holding back their excitement and asking questions that he can actually answer. So yeah, overall I would recommend watching all of these interviews if you have the chance to. And yeah, now topic number 2. We have 2 things in this topic. So Andy Muschietti is like directing an It prequel series, which I will be covering on this channel. It starts today, actually, and it's called Welcome to Derry. So he's doing a bunch of interviews promoting Welcome to Derry. It starts tonight, so I will probably be doing a video on that tonight or tomorrow episode. I'm gonna be reviewing that series on this channel. The reason why is I just reviewed Weapons yesterday. I'm gonna review Amenamine this week with Daniel Day-Lewis. I told you movies is gonna be a pillar of this channel, and nerd stuff and music and movies and television and advocacy. Those are all the 5 pillars of this channel. So I'm very excited for Welcome to Derry. But Andy Muschietti, for those of y'all that don't remember, got announced like as soon as James Gunn took over to be directing Batman Brave and the Bold, right? And I actually think he's a great pick. As you guys know, I've made this very clear before, not just because Ezra Miller's a terrible person, because of what he did, but I did not like his Flash. Like, I did not like his Flash. Like, I thought Grant Gustin was a way better Flash when Ezra Miller was, right? Right? I think Ezra Miller was a bad Flash, but I like the Flash movie that Andy Muschietti made. Now, is it the best comic book movie of all time, like everybody was saying? Hell no. Hell no. But you want to know the best parts in that movie? For me, even though it's a Flash movie, was the Batman parts. Like the part he had with my favorite Batman to date, Ben Affleck. And then the parts he had with Michael Keaton. Those were the best parts of that movie. So, I would be down for Andy directing a Batman movie. And I like, he's directed a lot of horror. Like, he could probably bring the horror element of Batman, because Batman mainly focuses on fear and stuff like that. So yeah, like he focuses on scaring people, right? So he could probably bring that element. So Andy Muschietti, in the interviews leading up to Welcome to Derry, was like, he was asked about his future and Batman and stuff like that, and he said, well, his sister, because he produced this movie with his sister Barbara, was like, Andy's still directing the movie, but we can't talk about it right now. And then Andy Muschietti goes, and I don't think he should have said this, but thank you, Andy Muschietti, for saying this. He goes, oh yeah, I can't talk about that movie for a few more months. Which probably means, ladies and gentlemen, your boy was right! Because what have I been saying since I started this podcast, right? I've been saying Batman's probably going to show up in Clayface, or at least Bruce Wayne. I think I'm right, because why would they be, like, what? They're not going to release the Batman Brave and the Bold until after Matt Reeves' The Batman 2 comes out, right? So why would Andy Muschietti be announcing things a year before they even start filming the movie, right? I think they've already have their Batman, right? hopefully, it's my boy Jensen Ackles. You guys know, and I'll say this, I'm the biggest Jensen Ackles for Batman fan on YouTube. Like, I've wanted him to play Batman for the last... He's voiced Batman, but I've wanted him to play Batman for the last, 7 years, right? Like, I think he would be great. And you guys know what type of Batman I want for this DCU. I want Arkham-style Batman in live action. That's what I want. So, yeah. For me, both of these things are exciting to me. Like, we're finally going to get an update on Brave and the Bold in a few months. Now, what he means by a few months, I don't think we're going to get it this year, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully I'm wrong about that, but I don't think we're going to get it this year. I think we're going to get it early next year, right? So, yeah. That is the podcast for today. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless, and thank you for watching, and goodbye. Oh, and if you enjoy this content, please subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.